Hello, and thank you for joining us for the 2020 fall soccer season. We are going to go over quite a bit of information today to get you guys prepared for the soccer season starting on Sunday. But if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email, give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer those after the presentation is done. So let's go ahead and jump into the program. All right, and here we go. So before we jump into some of the details, I want to make sure we first touched on our values and roles as a program. So as a league, our values are to provide a fun, safe, instructional, inclusive, and sportsmanship-based program for your kids. The level of success that your kids is going to have is really going to vary on their experience and what they're looking for. For some kids, success may look like getting out in the field and playing without mom and dad next to them. For other kids, success is going to be really improving their dribbling skills or their passing skills and working with a team and understanding defense. So whatever that looks like for your kid, we want to be here to help them out. So as adults, we all have a role to play to make sure that we are successful in this goal. So as parents, we want you to be out there to support all kids using encouraging and positive words and actions. Our coaches, we want you to be out there to teach sportsmanship by being fun and supportive and positive role models. And our staff is going to be out there to promote fair play through a safe, organized, and fun environment. So we feel like if we all fulfill our roles, then we're going to provide the league that we set out to provide. So we hope for you guys' support on that. So we were going to have John from Scottish Rite Sports Medicine for Children joining us today to go over some information. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us, so we're going to be passing on some of those resources to you guys in regards to safety on the field and in sports, the importance of hydration, a good diet, and some resources for you guys. So look for that coming up soon. But we do appreciate the support and sponsorship of Scottish Rite this upcoming season. So let's jump into some of the notes for the program. So before we jump into anything else, make sure you guys are aware that for those of you who are going to be coaches or interested in helping out as a volunteer coach or team helper, we will be having a coaches meeting on Thursday, the 17th at 6 p.m. This is going to be another virtual meeting. So we'll send you guys the invite and the details for that. It's coming up soon. So look for that. But that's going to be on Thursday. As far as our league, we have 3 different venues this season. We're going to be at Shawnee Trail Sports Complex in Frisco, Reynolds Middle School in Prosper, and Old Shepherd's Park in Plano. And we'll show you guys exactly what those fields look like, the layouts of them, and we'll send you out the maps and descriptions and addresses as we get closer to the season starting as well. I want to spend a few minutes on our rainout procedure because we all know the weather in Texas can be very unpredictable. So if there is a day that we have weather concerns, this is how we follow those steps. So every single day, you can call the weather hotline and see what's going on at that location. So I might say, hey, this update is for September 27th. All games at our locations will be played. Have a great day today. Or the games in Plano have been canceled due to heavy rain. Games in Frisco and Prosper are still on at the moment, but please check in later on or whatever. So make sure you do check that hotline before you go out to the field. If we do have to cancel any games, whether it's the beginning of the day or in the middle of the day, we update the weather hotline. We email parents immediately, let them know that games are canceled. We call all the coaches, make sure they're aware of it. And then in the following days, we'll update the website with the makeup schedule for those games that are missed. So please make sure you note that November 8th and November 15th are 2 potential makeup games. So if we have a cancellation, we may play on one of those 2 dates to make up the games that we missed during the season. So make sure you mark those on your calendar. As far as equipment needed for the season, as far as required equipment, you want to make sure that you have cleats or athletic shoes for your kids, shorts or athletic pants, any color, any type are perfectly fine. The kids' jerseys are going to be red and blue this season. So any black jersey or black shorts, black soccer socks were perfectly fine. And then the required item is shin guards. So you notice here in the picture, this kid had some long socks that covered his shins. These are not shin guards. You have to have the plastic shin guards that actually go under the socks or over the top of the socks in order to participate in the game. So make sure you do have shin guards for your child and don't just come with long socks and think you're okay. Just because at the age group, there's a lot of huddle ball, and sometimes they're kicking the ball, kicking each other, and we don't want kids getting beat up while they're in those little huddles trying to get the ball out. The other item that's required, want to make sure you bring is your own water bottle for your child. That way they stay nice and hydrated on those warm days. As far as recommended items, we recommend a soccer ball. And as far as sizes, ages 3 to 7 is a size 3 ball, ages 8 to 10 is a size 4 ball. And like I said before, soccer socks are highly recommended and they can be any color, but these aren't required. As a league, we will be providing 6 balls per team, cones for them to use for their practice, a goal for them to use, and corner flags for them to use during their practice. But if you want to bring any of your own equipment, feel free to do that. But we clean and wipe down the equipment before and after each session. And then the reversible jersey we will provide to you on opening day. So if you ordered I9 Sports shorts, those will get mailed to you, but the jerseys will be passed out on the first day of the season, which is this Sunday, September 20th. So that's why we're having you guys come in a little bit early that first day to get the jerseys passed out, to introduce yourself to the team, get yourself situated, and then we'll start with the first practice and game right after that. So speaking of opening day on September 20th, since we're going to go over a lot more information in today's meeting, we are not going to be holding a parent meeting on opening day. So instead, when you arrive to the park, our staff will be greeting you at the check-in table. We'll ask you what team you're with, what sport you're with, and what field you're on, and we'll direct you to that area. Once you get to your fields, for example, if you're directed to field 2, when you go on field 2, our staff will be waiting for you. Another staff person will be waiting for you there. You'll let them know what team you're with, and you'll say, hey, you guys are with the Gazelles. You guys can go here to this goal. You guys are with the Alligators. You guys go here to this goal and meet with your team, meet with your coaches. So what we would like is for parents, once you get to the field, drop off your child with your team, and then go ahead and head to the parent and spectator area and set up yourselves, get yourself situated, obviously socially distancing yourselves from everybody else, and get yourself situated to watch the practice game. If you need to be with your child during that introduction period with the team, feel free to do so. We just ask that you kind of keep your distance and please have a mask if you're going to be on the field with the team and with your child. So just make sure you're aware of that. But during that introduction period, the coaches are going to introduce themselves, the kids will introduce themselves, the coaches will pass out the jerseys, make sure they put them on with the correct color and the correct sizes. If your child gets a jersey that's too big or too small and you need to exchange it, let our staff know that's on the field and let them know, hey, coach, can you come over and please, we need to get a small for an extra small. And our staff will collect those jerseys, take them back to the check-in table and bring them back to you. That way we don't have a crowd of people waiting at the check-in table and waiting to get their exchanges and things like that. We want to try to avoid crowded situations, avoid people grouping up together. So again, that's why we want to make sure that the kids go to the team and stay with the team by themselves if they can. Parents, you go to your area and get yourself situated and ready to watch the practice, and we'll be the ones running things back and forth and taking care of things like that. So once the jerseys are on, everything fits correctly, you guys are where you need to go. The kids will start their first practice on their field with their coaches and with their team. Our staff will be there to assist, and then when it's time for the game time, our staff will be the ones officiating those scrimmage games. So a couple reminders on opening day and every week of the season. Make sure you arrive 5 minutes early and the kids come dressed to play. Don't come with jeans and thinking that we're just going to show up and meet your team and that's it. Come ready to play every single week. As much as possible, we are asking that parents please limit spectators to immediate family only. If you can limit it to even just one parent per child, we are recommending that. But the Frisco, the cities, as well as the parks and the ISDs are asking that we try to limit spectators as much as possible. That way we're able to do a good job of socially distancing ourselves while we're at the venue on the sidelines. So set in the designated areas, there's going to be an area that says player and coaches area, and there's going to be an area that says spectators and parents, and make sure you guys are in that area. Again, do not come to the house if you or someone in the house is sick or showing any symptoms, and please follow the state Texas Executive Order GA-29 in regards to face masks, and we'll get into some of those safety measures in a little while. So as far as league format, the kids are placed on teams by balancing out age, height, weight, skill, and requests on each team. We'll have volunteer parent coaches that will be leading out most teams, but we have sports coordinators on each field to make sure that they're assisting and leading when it comes to giving good positive instruction and support to our coaches and then officiating the game. So if for whatever reason your team needs more support, maybe it's your first time coaching, you've never done it before, or you notice that your coach is going to need a little bit of assistance out there, please let our staff know. Hey, can you stick around our field and give our coach a little more hand? I'm sure most of our coaches will appreciate an extra hand or two on the field, and our staff is there to ensure that the kids are getting good practice and good instruction while they're out there. So if you see something like that you need some support in that area with your team, or with even a specific child, please let our staff know about it so we can help you guys out. We do have 3 age divisions: Tykes, Pee Wee, and Junior. And teams will be 4-on-4 or not 4v, 4v4 or 6v6 with goalie or no goalie depending on the age group. So we'll adjust that to you guys based on your age group. So here's an example of what a typical day will look like. Arrive at the scheduled time and start practice. Coaches will check in at the I-9 Sports tent to get their medal. Their equipment will be on the field ready for them. Your teams, once the time starts, will have a 30 to 35 minute practice, and then we'll play a 30 to 40 minute game right after that. Once the game is complete, all teams we will not be doing any high five lines, any team cheers, any parent tunnels, anything like that. So instead, where the parents are going to stay where they are in their parent spectator area, the coaches are going to bring their teams closer to the parent sidelines. We're going to line the kids up shoulder to shoulder, and at that point, we'll do clapping lines. So the coach or the referee, staff person will say, hey, let's give a round of applause for our team, the FSO2 Gazelles. Everyone will clap for them. Let's give a round of applause for the FSO1 Alligators. Everyone will clap for them. And at that point, while the kids are standing, while the parents are in their areas, and while the kids are lined up, the coaches will present the sportsmanship award for that week. So each week we emphasize a different sportsmanship trait, and we pass out the award to the kid who best exemplified the trait that day. And so the coaches, at that point, while the kids are standing and everyone's sitting in their areas, will announce the 1 or 2 winners for their team. At that point, when that is done, we're not going to be doing any team snacks or parent meetings or whatever. When that is done, the kids will go ahead and head off with their parents and head on home. So again, just to kind of eliminate crowding up and huddles and crowds together and that kind of thing, we're going to run things a little bit differently this season. So just kind of be aware of that. So in regards to safety and sportsmanship, we have a very simple rule. If in doubt, sit them out in regards to any kind of safety or injury concerns. And our officials and work with our coaches and parents to make sure that our kids are safe, that no kids going in to play and continue playing after a collision or after a fall on the floor or whatever the case might be. Sportsmanship is expected by all of our kids, but also by our parents and coaches. So if we want our kids to model sportsmanship and patience and understanding and all these things that we hope for, respect, it starts with us as coaches and parents. So we make sure we're showing respect and understanding to our coaches, to our referees, to our staff members, to our fellow parents, and to all the kids that are out there on the field. Any inappropriate language or behavior will not be tolerated. And the last thing that we want is to have you sit out a few weeks or an entire season because you can, keep your temper out there on the field. And again, this is recreational soccer, 3 to 10-year-olds. We should not have these situations happening no matter what. But I just want to make sure we set those expectations for everybody. And that way we continue to not have these situations within our leagues. So what we talk to our parents and our coaches about is to focus, again, instead of the outcome of the game or the performance of a player, make sure the emphasis on the effort that the player is displaying and the attitude that they're showing. So those are 2 things that kids have complete control over. They can control the effort that they're giving and the attitude that they're showing every single week and every single opportunity. They may not be able to determine and have complete control over how they perform that day or if they won that day. So what keeps games fun, what keeps kids interested, and what keeps them feeling successful and positive and working towards the right direction is if we focus on what they can control, and that is, again, their effort and their attitude. So instead of after a game saying, hey, did you win today? Did you score any goals? Say, hey, did you have fun? Did you learn anything new? Tell me something fun that you guys did today. Those are things that they can say, hey, whether we lost by 10 or we won by 10, oh, wait, I did great. I did this and this and this, and I got to play with my friend, and I scored my first goal today, or I got the sportsmanship award for being a good listener, and they can talk to you about those things that they had control over instead of feeling like, oh no, we didn't win and I didn't score any goals, so I guess today was a failure. Instead, they can talk about what they did do well and what they did have fun doing in practice or with a new friend that they made, because those are the things that matter the most to these kids, and that's what can keep them interested in to playing this sport and other sports for a long, long time. So we ask for you guys' support there. So come prepared and informed each week. Make sure you're up to date with communication with the league and with your team. Know your game information, what your team name is, their team ID, FSO2, PSO1, whatever the case might be. Know what field you're on, what time the game starts, who your coach is, and please try to arrive 5-10 minutes early each week to make sure that you're there on time, the kids are ready to go, that we start practices on time and on schedule. So how to stay up to date on all this information is to use our biggest and best resource, which is the i9sports.com website. So on the website, we have detailed schedules where you can print and email your schedules in one click, update your game attendance. You can typically sign up for snacks, but we have that turned off right now. You can communicate with the league in the office, and it's all accessible anywhere you can get online. So each and every parent that registered with us has their own personal login, their own personal account on the website. So they got to enter their email address, enter their password, click login. And if you're a parent, you'll go under My Account. If you're a coach, you'll go under My Coach, and you'll see all the information that you need for your child. And again, let's say that mom registered the son to play for the soccer program, so dad's not getting none of the contact information, and you want dad added to the contact list. Just send me an email. Hey Isaiah, can you please add Trevor Smith to to your contact list? That way he's getting updated as well. And here's an email address, here's a phone number, and I'll link you guys' accounts together. That way any email goes out, any updates go out, any new information, whether it's a cancellation or leagues change or newsletters, that both parties, both families, both guardians are getting that information as well. So let me know if we can add someone onto that. I can definitely do that real quick. So here's an example of what a schedule will look like. Here's obviously our football schedule, but it's the exact same format for soccer, where you'll see tabs for each child. And again, this is going to be under the My Account tab, and you'll see the dates, the arrival time, game times, game information, driving directions, practice field, game field, who their opponent is, what color jersey they're wearing, update snacks, update their attendance, weather hotline, contact your league coach, print, email your schedules, tons and tons and tons of information, who won sportsmanship awards, stats, standings, everything is here on the website for you guys. So make sure you are checking in on that every week to make sure you're well informed and updated. In addition to that, every single Thursday we'll be emailing you guys a newsletter giving you the coach of the week, sportsmanship trade of the week, any schedule or league changes, game day pictures or videos, league information, promotional items, special events, field maps, directions, addresses, and much, much, much more. So make sure you are every single week checking the website, checking i9sports.com, and making sure that you are informed and ready for your next week. And also making sure that you are checking your emails every Thursday, and staying up to date with what's going on. Because the last thing that we want is you guys showing up on Thursday and you guys thought you had a game at 1, but we emailed you 4 or 5 times over the course of the week letting you know that the game got moved to 2, and you're there an hour early or there an hour late, and you missed the game. So we don't want those things happening. So make sure you are staying on track with the website, staying updated there, and staying updated with your emails and checking that information. All right. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, issues, we can check in with our site manager staff and our sports coordinators. On every single field, you'll have a sports coordinator or 2 assigned to your field, working to support your coaches during practice and officiate the games when the game starts. And we have a site manager's check-in table, willing and able to help out with any other issues that you might have. So whether it's something like a player injury, a coach concern, a ref concern, player concern, safety concern, whatever the case is, please let us know about it. Please let us take care of it for you. The last thing that we want is 2 parents getting into a confrontation over something that we could have handled ourselves. And that way kids leave and everyone leaves the field talking about the kids and the great experience that they had, instead of talking about an argument that happened between coaches or between a ref or those other things. So if anything goes wrong, please let us know so we can handle those things. And same thing on the other side. I know we want to make sure that we handle any negative issues or any concerns that you have, but we also really love hearing, the positive things that happen at the field. Your kid scoring their first goal, and the coach is doing a really good job, and the ref made an impact on your son or your daughter. Those things we love hearing as well. So please come by the table. Let us know about it. I love hearing about a staff member that's doing something great, or a coach that's doing something great, that we can acknowledge them, reward them, give them a shout out in the next newsletter, things like that. So let us know, negative and positive, what we can do and what's going well within your program. So I wanted to show you real quick the field layout for our programs this weekend. So this is Reynolds Middle School in Prosper. So you'll be parking here in the big parking lot, and you guys are going to walk down the walkway, and you'll enter in the park here. And field 2 for soccer is going to be right here in this area, right in the middle of the field. So that's what we'll have set up for all of our players and coaches, and our parents will be in the spectator area over here on this side. Restrooms are over here as well in this area, so look for just signs, making sure you guys know to go. So we'll have a check-in table here to check everybody in, answer any questions, and assist you guys with anything that you guys might need. In Frisco, our parking lot is right here next to the big sports complex. So sports complex has the big football field here and the softball complex on this side. So the restrooms are in the middle of the baseball fields over here, but this is where our soccer fields are set up, field 2 and field 3. So our players and coaches will typically set up in the middle, and our players and spectators will be on the outside, setting up to watch and spectate the game. So make sure we are socially distancing in those areas, but that's how that field is set up, with again the check-in table being right in the middle of the field. When it comes to our Plano location, again, same setup, parking lot right here, check-in table as you guys enter the field. Field 1 is where we have our soccer parents set up on this side, our coaches and players on this side, and this is where we'll have all of our games for soccer on the sports field in Plano. So now I want to spend a little bit of time on the safety protocols, because this is something that's on all of our minds, and so I want to make sure we're all on the same page with this. So as a league, this is what we're asking for with our parents. We ask that you please limit the number of spectators, and ask that, if possible, only one parent guardian arrive per player in attendance. We know this might not be possible for everybody, and so what we're really asking for you here is try to limit spectators as much as possible. Just the situation that we don't want to have happen is, you roll in deep with grandma and grandpas and aunts and uncles and cousins and your neighbors all ready to watch little Jimmy play their first soccer game, which we wish we could all do that. But right now, to be able to socially distance, to be able to make sure everyone's safe, and based on the recommendations and requirements from the cities, they are asking that we try to limit spectators as much as possible on game day. So we ask for you guys' assistance on that. But with that being said, if you show up with, mom and dad and the 2 kids, we're not going to say, hey, those 2 kids got to go home and daddy has to go home, and only mom can stay. We're not going to be that crazy on it with you guys. But we just ask for you guys to support and do what you can to help us out there. In regards to parents and players, we will be asked to clean their hands before and after games. So we'll have hand sanitizer at the check-in table. If you want to stop by, clean your hands before you enter and after you leave, feel free to do that. We'll have plenty of hand sanitizer on site that will be given away as well. If you want to take one with you, we have these little mini ones you can take and keep it with you over the season. We ask that you do please follow park requirements set by the local government in regards to face covering. So basically, what the executive order states for us and what we've been asked to require of you guys is face coverings or face masks are required for everyone over the age of 10, including coaches and staff, if not able to socially distance. So that's the kind of the rule that they've set in place with us. So what we're asking from you guys is basically this: come to the field with a face mask. If you're a coach, if you're a staff member, you are required to wear one the entire time while you're at the field, because you'll be working closely with other parents, with the kids. And so we will asking you that you keep that mask on the entire time while you're out the field with your kids. If you're a spectator, we ask that you please bring a mask with you, whether you're planning on social distancing or able to social distance or not. Because if the situation arises where we have to come talk to you, or you need to come on the field, or you need to go to the check-in table, you're going to need to wear a face mask during those conversations, during those interactions. And there might be times where you're leaving the field or coming onto the field where there's crowds coming on and off. So please bring a face mask no matter what. And then if you don't want to wear a face mask, then we ask that you at least make sure you're social distancing your group from other groups that are out there. So whether you want to make sure you're 10 yards away or 10 feet away from the next family as they're watching the game, that's perfectly fine. You don't want to wear a face mask, you don't have to. We can't require it of you. But again, this is something that we're asking. And, we just don't want to, we know that there's city officials walking around and visiting the parks. And the last thing that we want is, which has happened, unfortunately, not with us, but with other programs, where the city officials are coming by or the ISD officials are coming by and they're taking pictures and taking videos of coaches or staff or parents not wearing masks or not social distancing themselves, and then getting a notice the next day saying, your league isn't being forced to postpone and cancel for the next 2 weeks because there was not social distancing happening and these requirements weren't being met this last week, and here's some proof. And we don't want that to happen. We want to continue to play. We've been missing sports and missing interactions and missing athletics for these last few months. And the last thing that we want is, one person not wearing a mask or social distancing. That's, kind of, not allowing us to do that going forward. So we ask that you please wear a mask when you're there. And if not, at the very least, make sure you're social distancing yourselves and have a mask with you in those situations where you need to go on the field. And that kind of brings up another point, especially for our younger ages. If you have a child that needs your assistance on the field during practice or during a game, and you need to be out there to hold their hand or to get them to, get comfortable because they've, it's a new group and a new group of people and a new adult leading out, whatever the case might be, that's perfectly fine. We want you to come out and support your kids, but please, in those situations, come with the mask. If you're going to come out on the field and work with your son or your daughter, please have a mask in those situations. So if you're thinking, hey, I'm not going to be coaching, I'm going to be socially distancing, but you know that your kid might need you out there, bring a mask, have it with you, put it on if you have to go on the field for that. So we'll have staff to come around and remind everybody of this, and we'll have signs out there to remind you of these things. But again, we're just looking for your support on this as well. So lastly here, a social distance measure will be implemented during outdoor activities. Again, staying 6 feet apart is what's recommended. No high fives, no handshakes, no parent tunnels. No of that stuff will be happening at the field. In regards to the teams, all staff will be disinfecting the equipment before after activities. We encourage kids to bring their own equipment if possible, but we'll have clean equipment there for you guys to use and share. There will be no team picture services provided this summer season or this fall season. I didn't update that. I'm sorry about that. This fall season, we will not be having any team pictures, so you don't have to worry about that. No team huddles during the games or practices. Coach practice plans and league formats have been adjusted for every sport to eliminate some of the more high contact drills and activities. Again, we talked about no high fives, handshakes, or unnecessary huddles or contact. No team snacks and no concessions sold at the field. So on-field issues. If we have an injury or a kid that's showing any kind of symptoms, this is the steps that we're going to follow. We're immediately going to remove that child from the field and a safe distance away from everybody else. We're going to stop the game or practice at that point. If we need to go on the field and clean the equipment again, bring hand sanitizer out, make sure everyone cleans their hands that's been interacting with that child or with that player or with that coach or whatever the case might be. We'll do that. And then we'll wait to kind of figure out what the situation is with that person who's not feeling well, and then inform you of the situation. So, for example, this happened to us over the summer program. We had a child who has asthma, had a little bit of an asthma attack, so we stopped the game. We came out, wiped down the balls. We hand sanitized. Brought hand sanitizer for everybody on the field. While the parents and staff were with this kid who was having an asthma attack, the parents just forgot their inhaler, and so they ended up going home because of that. So at that point, our staff went to the parents and said, hey, this is a situation. The kid had an asthma attack. The parent forgot their inhaler, so they're going to go home and take care of him. But he's fine. Otherwise, there wasn't nothing else related to anything else. So if you want to continue to play, we're going to continue to play our game. But if you don't feel comfortable, feel free to, to pick up and we'll see you guys next week. That's not a problem at all. We'll allow you guys that decision, but we're going to inform you of what's going on and what the situation is. That way you can make the best decision for your family. And if it is something else related, where they're sick, they're not feeling good, and they're showing symptoms, and we go back and figure out that there's, whether it's a positive case or whatever the case might be, we will inform everyone what's going on. We're not going to say specific details or give out any personal information, but we might just tell you, hey, there was a situation where a child was sick. Right now they're getting tested. We'll keep you updated and let's keep you informed. Or there was a positive test that came from someone who was out there. You were out the field and da-da-da. So we're going to be as just transparent with this stuff as we can to make sure you're informed and updated on any situation. And we're doing the same thing with our parents, and we're going to do the same thing with the health department to make sure we're following their guidelines and let them know what's going on at our venues. That way they can follow their protocols and they can give their recommendations. So, for example, there was a program where, not at our program, but another program where a coach was around someone and got a positive test on a Wednesday after being around somebody on a Monday. And so that person was no longer going to be coaching. So we just let the parents know, hey, this coach isn't going to come back with us because of that positive test. It was not while they're at the league, so we're going to continue playing, but we're going to have a new coach and da-da-da. So we'll keep you updated no matter what. That way you're fully aware of what's going on. And then some other safety measures I wanted to touch on real quick. So all of our staffs and coaches are background checked, trained, and certified. We upgraded our background check system with Sterling Volunteers. So not only do we get an annual check like almost everyone else does, but we also get monthly updates which is what almost nobody else does. So this way we are updated constantly, and we can be confident that the person that's out there working with our kids and the staff or the coach is a safe person to be around. So instead of something happens, midway through their background check and they're still coaching with us for 2 seasons before we find out, we'll get an update that month that this is something that came up, and we can immediately pull that person off the roster or pull that staff person off, or whatever the situation is, to ensure that all of our people out there working with the kids are safe to be around, for the kids to be around. We will have CPR and first aid certified staff on site. All of our staff will wash hands and clean equipment like we mentioned before and after each session. So on one final note, as we're wrapping up here, and thank you for sticking around and going through this information with me. We do have a couple of open spots still for some of our age groups and divisions. So if you have a friend or buddy or sibling that wants to play, we do take buddy requests and coach requests, and you can get a $10 credit for every new person that you refer to our program using the Refer a Friend program on the i9sports.com website. So if you go under My Account and scroll down there, you'll see Refer a Friend, and you can get 10 new friends every season and get $100 off your program every season. And there's no limit to the number of referrals you can have and credits that you can receive over and over and over and over again. So it's just a way for us to say thank you for everyone that's talking to their friends and family about your experience with us. Make sure you are following us on social media, Facebook, on Instagram, to provide a fun program for our kids, and follow us on some of that fun stuff that you see out there. So we love getting pictures and videos from our parents and posting them on the website and posting them on social media. So look for those as well. All right, guys. Well, that's a wrap for our presentation today. I know it's a lot longer than these meetings normally go, but again, because we couldn't have our meeting in person on Sunday, we wanted to make sure that we covered everything for you guys and got you guys informed and updated for opening day. So we look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. If there's any questions on anything we reviewed today, any concerns about anything that I didn't touch on, please let me know. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention that we got a question that came in that I wanted to make sure I touched on is, do the kids need to wear masks while they're playing, those that are playing? The answer is no. If they are 10 years and under, which is most kids in our program, because our program goes to age 10, if they are 10 years and under, they are not required to wear masks as a spectator or as a player. If you want your child to wear a mask, it is completely up to you, and we will allow that. That's not something that we're going to say they can't do, but they do not have to while they're playing or while they're on the sidelines or while they're there as a spectator. The requirement that we have to follow is anybody 10 and above that's a spectator that's going to be out and around the kids, people for more than 15 minutes, should be wearing a face mask if they cannot socially distance. So that's the mandate there. So again, if you want to have your kids wear a face mask while they're on the field and playing for practice and games, completely up to you. We support that and we encourage that to make sure everyone's safe, but it's not something that we will be requiring or we'll be enforcing while we're out there. So I just want to make sure I touched on that last point. So thanks again for this, and we look forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. And like I said before, give me a call, send me an email, and I'll be happy to get back to you soon. This is a crazy time for me, so I am backed up on emails. So I try to get back to everyone within at least 2 days, but I'll make sure to reach back to everybody as fast as I possibly can to answer your questions. All right, guys, thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday.